But if I get another opportunity like this where I have to be on the camera, I have to be mic.
What?
Please do not say that. Just this.
It's okay. They're gonna edit the video. They're probably not gonna get that.
We might keep some of it though.
Ooh, I'm glad I deleted the bad ones, cause ooh.
Welcome to 12 Days of Christmas. I'm your host, Lil D, and today we're turning Zohri into a fashion designer. So we have transformed ALA Beauty Academy into a designer studio, and Rey is about to get her all the way together. They're sewing her first piece ever. Let's go do it.
Hello, how y'all doing? My name is Britt. I'm Zohri's mom, and today she is going to be doing some fashion and designing and things like that. I'm so excited for her. This is a great opportunity. She loves fashion. She's been into it since I can remember. She started sketching at 7, so to be here now to get this opportunity, I'm so excited for her, and I can't wait to see the piece she's gonna make.
Hi, my name is Desiree. I am Rey, basically of Rey Imani LLC. I am a fashion designer, and today I'm meeting Zohri, and we are going to create a kimono. But we call them cloakies though. But yes, and I'm so excited to be here, so we're about to get started.
Okay. Zohri, this is Rey. Rey, this is Zohri.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Are you excited?
Yes.
I'm excited too. So yeah, let's get started then. Okay. We're going to make a cloakie. I call it cloakie, but traditionally it's called the kimono. It's not really a kimono though, it's more of a jacket. It's really cute though, and I think you're gonna love it. So I basically have everything prepared since you're new to sewing, so I didn't want to bring you anything too complicated. So we're doing, the fashion world calls it a kimono. I don't really like calling it a kimono though, because a traditional kimono, that's a whole different, like, culture. So, I don't want to step on anybody's toes with it. So I call it a cloakie because that's kind of what it is. So we have the back piece, and it's always supposed to be oversized. They're not really meant to fit. It's supposed to be really flowy. So I brought you the back piece, and I have the 2 front pieces. They're called the center front pieces. This is called center back. So I also brought the pattern so I can basically explain to you how you're supposed to cut them out on fabric. Okay. So I bought a few things to help us basically put everything together. I also brought you the keychain. It says ISO. It says hashtag ISO. So we're just going to use just a few things to kind of lay them down. So these are what we call patterns. Okay, so the center front and the center back to a kimono are like cloakie. We're not calling it a kimono, we're calling it a cloakie. The center back and the center front are like very similar. The only thing really different is the neckline, and they're super simple to make. Okay, so I brought you patterns. You can actually take these patterns home with you when we're done, so that if you want to go ahead and make your own later on a different fabric, or even if you want to like use this and lengthen it, or style it however you want, you can do that. Okay, so we have the center front and we have the center back. Okay, so we're going to start with the center back. So once we attach the center front pieces, it'll be a whole cloak. So when you have your other pieces, you want to make sure that you put them, they say right sides together, but when they say right, I always think right, left, not correct. So basically the fabric that's going to show on the outside, you want to make sure that you're pinning those parts together. So correct sides together. Can you line that up for me? Right with the sleeve. Yep. And we're going to pull this right here. So basically, we would be pinning it. And we would sew along this edge, and we would leave these and this untouched, because this is the sleeve opening and this is your bottom opening. So we're just attaching the sleeves and the side seams. And that's really all it is to creating this garment. One thing about sewing, your fabric is going to wiggle and it's going to move around. So pinning it down just kind of secures it, so you don't have to worry about it slipping and sliding when you're sewing. Because then you'll have to rip out the seam, and you don't want to have to do that. And you just go in.
Second time?
Yep, you can do it like that. Sometimes I do that whenever I need direction, or I do such as this, just pin, and it's easy. And then we're just gonna do it all the way around. We don't have to put a million pins, but just a few. So we're just gonna, I'm gonna do what you did, like this. And each garment has what we call seam allowance. So that is something when you're making your pattern, you always want to include seam allowance because that is what you're gonna sew. So if you make somebody's garment and you make it to their exact measurements without seam allowance, when you sew, you're gonna take away. So it's gonna be too tight.
Okay.
Does it make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. The harder you press, the faster it'll go.
Okay.
So you just want to press lightly. It's just like driving. I know you're not driving yet, but once you start driving, it'll all make sense. So remember, we have the shoulder seams here, and we're going to make sure that those match. And then here, if you come a little closer on this side, you'll see your sewing allowance markers. Yeah. Okay. So every sewing machine has that. It should at least. So my half an inch is right where my foot, this is the foot, goes. Okay, let me just grab this real quick. I'm gonna pull these up, and we're just gonna go along. And we're gonna back stitch. So a back stitch is what secures your line. If you do sew over the needle, it's okay. I have spare needles, so don't worry about mine. All right, I'm gonna hop in. Okay, so remember, I'm actually going to adjust the speed on the sewing machine just a little bit so it doesn't go too fast for you if you press too hard, okay? Perfect. Now I'm gonna press it. Just keep going. There you go. All right, you got it. Good job. Good job, baby.
Why you keep saying stuff? Oh.
All right, so we got the first part of your kimono done. Cloakie of your cloakie done. You want to try to squeeze into it?
Okay.
So we just have a good idea of how it's looking before we attach the other part. All right, taking this way. Okay. And we're just checking it out. And then we'll also steam it so that your seams will be nice and crisp.
Okay.
You want to see it in the mirror?
It looks pretty.
Yeah. But yeah, I also brought you some instructions on how to make these. So if you go home and you want to use your pattern, I put down instructions on how to do it step by step.
Okay.
All right. Stitch so that it would hide that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just called a rolled hem.
All right.
You would just do that on all your hems, basically. You would just roll it, but we'd need the steamer for that to really hold it in place. You don't ever want to do a rolled hem without ironing it first.
Okay.
And then that would just, and then we just do it around, and then we do it basically all the way around too. And all you would see is like the little line, and this would be on the inside. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's the hem. So when you're sewing, that's one of the most important parts of sewing is that you want to make sure you're ironing while you're sewing. So you'll do a couple hems. You want to go to your iron board, get a good press on it so they look good, and then you go back to sewing.
Okay.
When you steam and when you iron while you're sewing, it just comes out looking like higher quality. So when did you realize you wanted to be a fashion designer?
The more I started drawing, the more I realized that I wanted to express my art in a more creative way. And I even told my mom about it, and she was like, well, yeah, you want to do that? Then we could start putting your art out there and stuff like that. And I began to like start drawing like, you know, models and stuff like that. I was like, you know, I really like drawing like models, and I I think about like colors and textures a lot, like every day, and I just think about how like different things could look on me, and I just imagine that and I just sketch it out, and I was like, yeah, I think this is my passion, this is what I want to do. Like I haven't made anything, but I have made a design. Like I thought of graphic design a lot of times. So my mom, she bought me just like a regular white sweater, and I used one of my designs from my sketchbook, and I basically used fabric markers, and I designed the whole idea, just copied it on there, just like with the markers, just my own hand. And I went to school, and they were like, "Where'd you get that from? Like, did you make that?" I was like, "Yeah, I made that."
I know that's right. I made it.
Yeah.
Sure did.
So I was pretty happy that people thought that this was like from places, but no, it was just mine. So that made my passion even stronger, because I thought I could do stuff like more like this, and people would want to buy it. And
Coming closer, know that I'm a mess. Tangled up in wires, I can't catch my breath. I run. Falling deep.
So that inside voice, I guess, is what she meant. Right here. There you go. There you go.
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
That's cute though.
ooh,
I gotta.
I was already thinking about what I was about to.
I see like the oversized jeans.
Oh, it's so cute.
And I get hooked up on that.
And then there was one up here.
I'll get that one. It's right back here. There you go.
You look so beautiful. It's very nice.
Yes, good. It looks good. Something simple. And see, someone always doesn't always have to be complicated. You can make simple things, and depending on what you I gotta cut that. I gotta snip that little line off. But depending on the fabric and everything, it can look really good, really complex. I'm big on fabric. I like simple things, but it's the fabrics for me. They get me. So yeah. I'm glad you like it.
So how'd it go?
I think it went pretty good. I've definitely learned a lot of things that I could use in the future. So I'm very happy about it.
And sew together your first piece. You cute. Okay, it's giving. What was your favorite part?
Definitely the learning and the doing part, when I like got to sew it out and I was really like looking at it and I began to like understand, and that just, it made a lot of light bulbs, you know, pop in my head for ideas.
For sure. So are you going to continue your journey of becoming a fashion designer?
Yes.
Period, because you already designed. Okay, girl.